Okay. Welcome to another SketchyGOichie Sketch Fest. I'm about to do a live demo on in the real world again. I got a nice gray sheet of toned paper. I've got my trusty Sharpie peel-off China marker. Let's see, I even got a white one. And that is pretty much all I'm going to need to use on this particular one. We'll see if there are any surprises that come about. But I am just going to freestyle, do a little sketch and see what happens. All right. So I had recently done a Daenerys Stormborn drawing with her little cartoon version of her kind of crawling up a dragon. I did it in color. I also did it in Procreate. So this sketch, I'm going to do another Game of Thrones flavored one, and I'm going to do it right about now. So let's see, what's another popular character? How about Jon Snow? How about that? All right, as usual, start off with my little basic shape. I like these Sharpie markers because they are, not markers, but China markers. Not sure how I got that title. These peel-off markers because I literally, as the tip starts to go, I could just kind of peel away this portion, and I have more sort of drawing surface or drawing implement to work with, and I can just peel it all the way down to the end and grab a new pencil. So anyways, we'll do a Jon Snow. Let's see, what's Jon doing? I have his sword in a heroic position. Alright, this is going to be a quick one because that's all we really need to do here. So I'm going to do it in my normal style there, the sort of cutesy version of him. Okay, so don't be alarmed if his proportions don't seem so natural. Okay. Alright, hope we have some fans of Game of Thrones. The ones who are old enough to watch it. Alright, and as usual, I will give you kind of a little play-by-play as I continue. So for me, basic shape. Then I almost always go to the eyes first. Not sure if that is the proper approach for all artists, but it works for me, and so if it works for me, it works. Not necessarily going to work for you, but here's the thing. Everyone has their process. For me, something about starting with the eyes kind of gives the drawing life almost immediately. And if the drawing has life almost immediately, I feel good to continue forward. Okay? So, of course, he's going to have some brooding, scowly eyes. That's important to his character. He's definitely not going to have a smile. Right? It's almost always brooding. So, you start there, you're going to have even a cartoony Jon Snow, you're going to have a good starting point. Okay? Alright, so I've got his basic face going. Costume's going to be a little fuzzy. I don't have any reference in front of me, so I have watched the series, so I've got a decent sense of what's going on with him. Alright. I know for sure it's going to be some fur and lots of it with our buddy Jon. And he's got these crisscrossy straps that go across him. And I know he's going to have, I think I'm going to do the more modern or the more recent version of him where he's got his hair kind of pulled back. I like to do that to make it a little more accurate to what's going on film now. HBO right about now. So yes, so it's Jon Snow, pulled back hair. We'll even do a couple of wisps heading off in this direction of hair. Guys, when I render hair, hair is like most other things. When you render this, there's a collection of shapes that form that kind of trick the eye into thinking it's hair-like. There's areas of highlight and there's areas of shadow, and the more often you practice, you can kind of fool the eye into thinking you've got it covered. All right. Of course, he's got his little beard. You know, and I think the best way to represent beard is not to fill it in. When you don't fill it in, you leave these little spaces in between. It kind of, again, tricks the eye into thinking it's hair. There's a bunch of things when you work in line that represent hair or shadow or texture. And once you, I studied comic books growing up, so once you kind of study what the masters do, and then you take it and you don't steal, you politely borrow some of that technique, and over time you become not a master, but you certainly become adept at that visual language that working the ink has. Okay, big old long claw sword. Again, you'll forgive me if I don't have all the details, but one thing I have to make sure is you got this little wolf, this wolf head on the top. Yep, guys, that's a wolf. Alright. And his little cross thing, I'm sure he's got a little belt there, and they always have these sort of flaps. Not dresses, flaps. Alright. And his little boots. Okay. I know it's dark. He's got these black sort of leggings on, black leather work. Okay. And you can see this little swoop here. This is cape kind of blowing in the winter wind. That's what that's going to represent. And of course, if it's blowing in this direction, probably the cape should swoop from the right into the left. That's what I say. And these little shadow areas are just kind of there to give some sort of volume and depth. So, a little brooding, Jon Snow. Like so. I'm gonna add some white to give it a little more flavor, as I'm apt to do. Not necessary in your own particular style or technique. I like it. This is a little deco color. It's an opaque paint marker. First usage, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see how much paint emerges from this marker on its first use, and we're gonna see. Give it a shake. We're gonna see how opaque this guy is once the paint starts flowing. Okay. Maiden journey, a voyage. Oh, I see some white starting to come down. Obviously, I don't do a lot of pre-prep when I do these videos. So, all right, here you go. Now we got some paint. There we go. That's about as white as it's going to get to. I think the paint's kind of blending in with the paper, which is okay. So, ordinarily, when I'm rendering, I like to shift the paper around. And I do that to kind of change the angle and make it easier to find rendering points. Alright. I don't want to shake the camera, but I gotta do it because I'm not liking what that paint is doing, which is not a lot. So that is not a good product endorsement going on right there. Okay. So give him just a little highlight. I'm gonna kind of select the areas that I think could use it. And forgive my shake. And we'll just call that we'll call it like action. I've got kind of a born identity thing happening with my videos. That's why we've got this sort of steady cam thing happening when I render. And the reality is, a little behind the scenes, I've got my camera literally affixed to my desk on this super long little sort of retractable, it's not a tripod, it's just kind of this retractable long arm thing, which is allowing me to kind of give you this kind of down view. What a shame that marker didn't work. I mean that paint marker. It may have needed just a bit more love, but I ain't got time for all that. I'm trying to sketch, man. When you got time for all that, you just sketch. So I'm gonna give this some little winter is coming action going. I'm super enthusiastic about the new season, as many are. Hopefully by the time you view this, we're one step closer to watching the new season of Game of Thrones. And then when people watch this in the future, they'll be like, it's lame how, I mean, we then saw what happened in that 8th and final season of the original recipe Game of Thrones before all the new spin-offs and things start taking effect, coming into play. So I really would love to get that eye whiter. I don't think it's gonna happen. Just that highlight, you know? Because it got a little funny, I'm gonna pull out my trusty. Oh, that's nice and black. I like that. This here is a twistable slick stick. Crayola makes them. They are quite literally a fat, super fat, waxy crayon. And the black on it is so dense. And oftentimes when I do some, corporations will hire me to come in and kind of do live drawing. It serves as a what they call kind of the hand in the room. I kind of capture ideas as people brainstorm, as corporations, you know, Hasbro and you name it, a bunch of other corporations, they'll hire me to come in and kind of help give visuals to some of the concepts that they're working on. And so I'll come in and I'll essentially just draw. When asked, I'll contribute ideas, but I think the intent is to have sort of like some visual aid to kind of capture what was put down in the meeting. And I think it's probably the most ideal way, if you're brainstorming something, is to get some visuals to kind of go along with the brilliant ideas that are floating around the room. But I might be a little bit biased. So if you're looking to have someone like me do something like that quickly, like this, or quicker than this actually, you know where to find me, rand247.com. So that's Jon Snow. Let me throw my little John Hancock on it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yes, Game of Thrones style. Love this stuff. Hope you either do love to draw or grow to as you practice. And the only way to practice is to break out that sketch pad and do your thing. So, Jon Snow, Game of Thrones, SketchyGOichie, live your moment. Happy sketching, y'all. Peace.